So oftentimes we get lost in the all-time discussion. It's something that I talk about so often on my Facebook, on the podcast, on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast Facebook, my Twitter feed, everything. I talk about the greatest of all time. I love all-time debate, discussion. I enjoy it. You can kind of put your own asterisks next to it. You can kind of say, well, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite quarterback of all time? And more often times than not, that is who most people have ranked in their discussion. Other people look at the top five or all-time debate discussion and say, who is the most talented quarterback? Who is the most accomplished quarterback? Who did more with less? Who did more with more? Who's the greatest field general? Who's the greatest, at anticipating the rush? There's so many different distinctions that we have as football fans that epitomize who we feel is the best of all time. So I wrote down on my list my top five greatest quarterbacks of all time, the top five quarterbacks that I truly feel, three of which I got to watch in my lifetime, not to give anything away. But I'll start off with number five. Brett Favre, the one-time Super Bowl champion, NFL's Iron Man, retired from the National Football League with more touchdown passes than any quarterback in National Football League history. Also, obviously had the consecutive starts streak. What gets lost on a lot of people is the fact that he also is the all-time leader in interceptions. This is a guy that played 20 NFL seasons. Started his career in 1991 with Atlanta and then with the Packers from 92 to 2007, the New York Jets in 2008, and then the Minnesota Vikings from 2009 to 2010. He was the first quarterback to pass for 500 touchdowns, throw for 70,000 yards, complete 6,000 passes, and attempt 10,000 passes. The gunslinger from southern Mississippi. 11 Pro Bowl invitations is the third most among quarterbacks in NFL history. The only player to win the AP NFL MVP Player Award 3 consecutive times, doing so from 1995 to 1997, and is one of only 6 quarterbacks to have won the award as well as the Super Bowl in the same season. He led teams to 8 divisional championships, 5 NFC title games, 2 Super Bowl appearances, obviously going 1-1. He won with the Packers in Super Bowl 31 with a 35-21 victory over the New England Patriots. At that time, obviously, they were led by Drew Bledsoe. He holds many NFL records, including most career pass completions, most career pass attempts, most career interceptions thrown, and most consecutive starts by a player, most times sacked, and most fumbles. At the time of his retirement, he was the NFL's all-time leader in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Both records have since been broken by Peyton Manning, and Favre was obviously inducted into Canton's Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2016. I've always had a deep admiration for Brett Favre, the way he played the game with the gunslinger mentality, just a good old boy, never meaning no harm, Dukes of Hazzard style quarterback. And I miss that. I miss Brett Favre, as a face of the National Football League. Most people hold against Favre too that he stayed in it too long. I'm of the opinion that if you are playing at a high level, you continue to play until you can't play anymore, and that's what Brett Favre did. He took out every single drop in the tank over a 20-year span, ending his career with the Minnesota Vikings in that season prior, his second to last season. I believe it was the 2009 season. He had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, which was easily the best season for a quarterback of his age outside of what Tom Brady did this year. I really think in most ways Tom Brady surpassed that, but Brett Favre was a true Iron Man, and I really did enjoy that whole situation where he left the quote unquote Packer, the team that he was supposed to play his whole career with, really, the Packers, came back. That was actually kind of a fun situation where most fans look at it and say, well, maybe he shouldn't have stuck around for as long as he did. Next on the agenda is John Elway, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He obviously padded his resume, winning back-to-back Super Bowl titles the last 2 seasons of his NFL career. I'm putting John Elway above Brett Favre. He might not have the records that Brett Favre was able to accomplish in his career, but oftentimes when we look at the draft in comparison to, the regular season, we look at it and we say, dating back to 1983, John Elway was the bona fide number 1 pick, and he was drafted by the Baltimore Colts, gets traded to the Denver Broncos, and really didn't look back. Consummate professional, a real winner, a true champion in every form. For a guy that lost Super Bowls to continue to come back and to bookend his career with 2 straight titles, 2 title games that were very exciting, and he won in thrilling fashion and walked away, rode out in the sunset as a Super Bowl champion. That definitely left a cherry on the sundae of his career. And I've always thought of John Elway as the guy that I look at that is the complete and total package as an NFL quarterback. He had a cannon for an arm. He was smart. He had scrambling ability. He could run. He was a laser thrower. A guy that could really sling it. And I really think now, when I look at the draft process, who are the quarterbacks that I really like? John Elway is my mental imagination's best version of a quarterback. So John Elway ranks 4th on my list. Number 3, none other than Peyton Manning, the all-time touchdown passes leader, 2-time Super Bowl champion, only quarterback in the Super Bowl era to win 2 titles on 2 different teams as a quarterback. Only quarterback to do that. He won one with the Colts back in 06, 07, I believe, and won one at Super Bowl 50 with the Denver Broncos. And really his run with Denver was probably the best run that anybody could ever put on. For a quarterback in a 4-year span. He really did a lot of amazing things and showed really why John Elway, the executive VP, whatever you want to call him, GM, was so eager to go after him, even with the hesitations of his neck injury. He was really, really amazing. Quarterbacked for 18 seasons in the NFL, considered to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time due to his numerous career achievements. 14 seasons with the Colts and 4 seasons with the Broncos. You really look at his whole career, and what I mean by that is not the 18 years, but the years prior to that in Tennessee. Much like John Elway, he's the greatest quarterback in Tennessee Volunteers history, the greatest quarterback to ever play in the state of Tennessee at the collegiate level. And I've really admired his just ability to win games. His all-time career record is 101-31. He won 76% of the games that he played in. He was 25-3 as the quarterback of the Denver Broncos, 76-28 as the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. The guy won games. Might not have as many Super Bowls as, let's just say, Joe Montana or Tom Brady, but realistically, all the accomplishments that you could want. 8-time AFC Offensive Player of the Year, 7-time first-team All-Pro, 14-time Pro Bowler, and really to come back the way he did from that neck injury and play those 4 years with Denver and then bookending his career, with the Super Bowl trophy, Super Bowl victory, and Super Bowl 50. Truly remarkable. One of the best sight adjustment quarterbacks, I think the best actually, if I were to put him in that category of a player walking up to the center, checking the defense at the line. There was no better quarterback in the history of football than Peyton Manning at doing that. His career accomplishments are ridiculous. Most career passing yards, 71,940. Most career touchdown passes, 539. First quarterback to reach 200 career wins, playoffs, and regular season. Most touchdown passes in a season with 55 in 2013. Most seasons with at least 4,000 passing yards, 14. Most passing yards in a season, 5,400. 477 in 2013. He had the greatest season for any quarterback in 2013. It was a high-paced, fast-paced passing offense right out of the gate. He threw 7 touchdowns in Week 1. Most consecutive seasons with at least 20 touchdown passes, 13. Most consecutive seasons with at least 25 touchdown passes, 13. And that was during the same time span, 1998 to 2010. I could go on and on. I mean, I really could go on and on. Just a truly remarkable career. And if he had more rings, he probably would be the best of all time. If he had just as many as TB12, he'd be right there with him. But 5 is more than 2. So on to the second best, Joe Montana. 4-0 in Super Bowls. Tom Brady can't say that. Peyton Manning can't say that. John Elway can't say that. None of these guys in the top 5 can say that they are 4-0 in Super Bowl history. And Joe Montana raised the bar for guys like Brett Favre, guys like John Elway, guys like Peyton Manning, and guys like Tom Brady. Nicknamed Joe Cool, the comeback kid, played 16 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, and then 2 seasons with the Kansas City Chiefs. Won a national championship at Notre Dame, and obviously holds Super Bowl career records for most passes without an interception. 122 passes in 4 games, the all-time highest quarterback rating of 127.8. Montana was selected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2000, his first year of eligibility. While a member of the Niners, he won and started in 4 Super Bowls, first player to have ever been named Super Bowl MVP 3 times. One thing about Joe Montana is that he's the original greatest of all time, I would say. Most valuable player, Sportsman of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year award, had a lot of devastating injuries throughout his career, but he just kept coming. Noted for his ability to remain calm under pressure, Montana helped his teams to 32 fourth-quarter come-from-behind victories, closing moments of the 1981 NFC Championship game. Montana threw game-winning touchdown passes in Super Bowl 23. Touchdown at the end of the championship game was so memorable that sports journalists, fans, and many others refer to the play simply as the catch, which was caught by Dwight Clark. Touchdown in the closing moments of Super Bowl 23 came at the end of a 92-yard drive with only 36 seconds left on the game clock. That's easily the greatest drive of all time. You know, you think of the situations that he handled in his career as well. You know, leaving San Francisco, going to another team, Steve Young taking that mantle, he handled it with pure class, and Joe Montana, you know, obviously one of the best of all time. But number 1 is the quarterback that is participating in Super Bowl 53. That is Tom Brady, the 5-time Super Bowl champion, 4-time Super Bowl MVP. Can he make it 6 titles? Can he make it 5 Super Bowl MVPs for Tom Brady? We will find out very soon. Reason why I have Tom Brady ranked as the best, people can say whatever they want, but nobody has done what Tom Brady has done in the fashion that he has done it. I'm not talking career accomplishments-wise, that's painfully obvious. I'm talking being a 6th-round draft choice, 199th overall, and accomplishing what he has accomplished in his career. He's one of only 2 players to win 5 Super Bowls, the other being defensive player Charles Haley, and the only player to win them all playing for one team. Truly remarkable. He's got 4 MVPs in the Super Bowl, the most by any single player, 2 league MVP awards, 13 Pro Bowls, and he has led his team to more division titles than any other quarterback in NFL history with 15. As the end of the 2017 season closed, Brady is 4th all-time in career passing yards, tied for 3rd with Drew Brees in career passing touchdown passes, and 3rd in career passer rating. His career postseason record is 27-9, winning more playoff games than any other quarterback, and he has appeared in more playoff games than any player at any position. Brady has never had a losing season as a quarterback in the NFL. His combined regular season and postseason wins are also the most of any quarterback in NFL history. Because of his accomplishments and accolades, many analysts and sports writers consider Brady to be the greatest quarterback of all time. Due to his late draft selection, Brady is considered to be the biggest steal in the history of the NFL draft. I don't give a damn about Deflategate. I don't give a damn about Spygate. realistically, they continue to win each and every season, and the reason why is because they have the greatest of all time, number 12, Tom Brady.